Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio evening edition. Beautiful day. It's been a gorgeous day today. Smoking my Peterson 314 spigot. And I'm smoking some Dunhill early morning pipe. When I smoked my early morning pipe video the other day, somebody asked me how it compared to the Dunhill. So I wanted to do a video smoking Dunhill. And I did have a jar of some Dunhill that I had stored up, jarred up about 4 years ago. So I wanted to do a video for them, comparing the two. Of course, you got to take into consideration this has been jarred up for 4 or 5 years. So I will say that the flavors are much more muted on the Dunhill than the Petersons. Which you can attribute to having been sitting for 4 or 5 years now. But the flavors are there. They're very much the same flavors, just not as pronounced in the charred version. It's smoothed out, definitely smoothed out. Much smoother than the Petersons. Much smoother. Which I would expect. And I would expect the Petersons to do the same if you jarred it up for 4 or 5 years. It's naturally everything is gonna meld and smooth out. But the flavors are there. It's the same flavorings, just smoother. I don't notice any difference in the flavors of the tobacco. It's just not as vivid. I guess vivid would be the word I'm looking for. The flavors in the Peterson is much more robust and vivid. The flavors are brighter. They're more vivid. They're more robust. In the Dunhill, it's more reserved, more mild, more mellow. And it's not as exciting to smoke the Dunhill for me. there's almost a bit of sourness in the Dunhill that I'm picking up. I don't know what that's from. But I only get that in the retrohale. But it's fairly pronounced in the retrohale. And it's not, to me, it's not a pleasant thing. It's very nice without the retrohale, just very nice. But there's just something in the retrohale that's just not. It's just something that I'm picking up that's not clicking right with me. Not saying it's bad. It's just different. That's what it is. It's just different. It's not bad. It's just not what I remember or expect from early morning pipe. And it may just be because all the other tobaccos that I'm used to tasting aren't as bold, and I'm just getting that one that's maybe didn't come down in flavor. It's good, and I'd keep smoking it. But it's just, it's not even anymore. There's like this one thing that's spiking up above the rest of the tobacco, and it's not there's an unevenness in this tobacco now. It doesn't have that wonderful even flavor that it had before, or that the Peterson's has now. There's a taste that's spiking in the tobacco that's taken away from that wonderful evenness that it had before. Well, I don't know how to tell you. I don't know how to say it, and it's a kind of a sourness to it. But as I'm smoking it, and just retrohaling only, I'm starting to enjoy it. I think it was I think it was probably just that the other tobaccos in there have just mellowed a lot, and this one didn't mellow as much. It's probably what it is. But right now, I'm getting used to it, and it's really growing on me right now. But the initial, the initial taste wasn't what I expected. Now, when just smoking it and not retrohaling it, it's very much the same, but much milder. But when retrohaling, I'm really picking up that one note that's standing out above the rest. It's very, very interesting. I'm glad I did this. Now, I did this the other day when I smoked when I opened the brand new tin of early morning pipe. I went and got my jar, and I smoked them back to back, and I didn't really notice this. Maybe it's because I still had the taste of the other early morning pipe in my mouth. Or I wasn't focusing on the retrohale as much. But it's very noticeable now. It reminds me, it's going to sound weird, but it kind of reminds me of the smell it's going to just sound bizarre. I get some weird things when I'm smoking a pipe with things it reminds me of, but when I retrohale it and then I just let it sit like this, like I'm doing right now, it almost reminds me of that smell you get with an electrical fire. Not a bad thing. I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it's a horrible thing, but that's just the, I mean, it doesn't smell like an electrical fire, but there's that quality of that smell that you get. It's like a I can't place that. It's not that smell, but there's a certain kind of it has that certain smell, like an electrical fire has that certain smell, and it's got a like a soury kind of smell to it almost. I'm not saying this smells like an electrical fire, but it's got that sour. When you smell a electrical fire, there's that sour kind of smell to it, and that's what I'm trying to get across. It's not saying it smells like an electrical fire, because it doesn't smell like an electrical fire, but it's got that sour kind of smell like an electrical fire has, and that's what I'm trying to get across. But I'm almost done with this. I don't know if there's like an Orientals in this or something. It's got to be some sort of Oriental. It's giving it that sour. And maybe that just doesn't dissipate as fast as the other, doesn't mellow as much as the others. Well, it's good though. It's good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's super mellow. Just super mellow. It doesn't have that bold pop that new early morning pipe has, Oops. And I'm just about done with this, it appears. Down to the bottom of the bowl here, but it's really good. It's just super smooth and mild. That's it. It's all gone. So anyway, that was interesting. Glad I did that. So there you go. And I did have a filter in it, just like the last time. So so there you have it. Same flavors, just muted, but there was one flavor in there that was a little more pronounced than the others. So if any of you guys have, I'd like to hear some other guys do this. I'd like to get their thoughts on this. If you have some old early morning pipe stored and you have a new tin of early morning pipe, I'd like to see if you guys could do a comparison between them and see if you get that at all. See if you guys get a difference at all in it. This was very interesting. Definitely the new early morning pipe had much bolder flavors for me, and the older early morning pipe was much smoother, mellower, milder flavors. But it had one flavor that was sticking out in the retrohale for me. that was kind of soury tasted. But I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on that. So I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one, guys. Take care.